Maandamano ya siku ya leo, watazamaji wangu, jinsi ambavyo unaelewa kwamba itaelekea pale Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. But I want to ask you a simple question. Do you think these people are going to manage to enter into Jomo Kenyatta International Airport? Do you think wataingia pale? Kwa sababu watazamaji wangu, earlier today William Samoei RUTO has already deployed a heavy security there to make sure hakuna mtu ataweza kufika pale. But for the GenZs, wanasema ya kwamba lazima wataingia pale. Iwapo these guys protested last time this way, kama wali protest hivyo, do you think wataingia pale hivyo? It will be very very difficult and it will be very very dangerous for them to enter into Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Kwa sababu watazamaji wangu, kitu ambacho kitaweza kutokea pale iwapo hao majamaa wataingia, these leaders are trying to discuss chenye itaweza kuhappen iwapo the GenZs watamanage kuingia pale. Hii ndio kitaweza kutokea.
The ongoing demonstrations are causing great risk to economic activities, including collection of revenue, the impacting on the tourism sector, and disruption in businesses.
I saw a comment by one of the GenZs that was actually equating our national budget to our own family budget. And if you have only 10,000 Kenya shillings and you need to do food, buy food and buy shoes, you can't do shoes and then leave food. But the way we have been budgeting is actually the opposite. We are buying shoes and leaving food. And when we do that, then there is pressure for us to increase revenue and hence the finance, in famous finance bill. So for me, it's very important that we are more realistic because we create an artificial need for revenue when we can actually budget as a country within our means. I know we have blamed the IMFs and all, and I'm sure they are doing wrong. But first, let us point fingers at ourselves before we point fingers even at the IMF, because there are things we can do at home that don't need to put those kind of pressure on us. Chair, the only thing, other thing I wanted to indicate is that I've seen that the Treasury has indicated areas where they need the cuts, but without premising them on certain principles, and that's why Daktari is actually going back to leave this and that. If you want to be very fair, it's always good to move on principles. And for me, one, which I've again said several in this committee, is there equity? One, in the cuts, and secondly, not only just in the cuts, but in the spreading out of the little, since we are going on austerity measures. And the Chair, I don't want to be selfish, but this is a very skeletal document, which, and if with the documents that you have on cards, yeah, they are about from page 1 to page 9, yeah. If you are looking at the estimates, the printed estimates, they are like this voluminous, they are that big. What is the possibility that 2 projects in my constituency, for instance, would be here? That shows lack of equity. I don't mind programs in my constituency being removed for us to deal with issues of austerity now, but there must be equity, both in cuts and also in spreading out what is remaining. Secondly, we must look at or preserve the pro-people project, the one that reaches people directly, especially Gen Zs, in terms of job creation, but also in terms of training. So if you are removing the ones that are reaching them, but we are retaining some which may not have that sort of value, it doesn't help. Then third, projects that can stimulate the economy. And Chair, for instance, there are some construction, there are ongoing constructions which you don't need. I know there are many we've removed, but there are some that I've actually seen that are there. Again, consolidating roles is another. Unfortunately, one of the areas I've seen is an area I'm very passionate about, so I will not say it, I will not mention it, but it's an area I'm very passionate about. But they have 3 different agencies doing one thing. It's a lot of wastage. And if you are serious, and that's what part of the conditionalities I think that IMF has given us, but we are going round and round like we are not able to. Again, Chair, the issue of public participation. Because we went to the public, they told us where the issue is pinching. Let's not remove that. And finally, Chair, on a light note, I can, you have told us that the demonstrations are keeping tourists away. But I actually think it's the opposite. If we can actually do away with the police beating demonstrators and the goons that are somehow infused, why? Because Ugandans will come here, Nigerians will come to see our Gen Zs are actually demonstrating with style, you know. They are good, they dance, they do no peaceful, no distraction, so we can actually use it to bring more tourists. So just be nice to the Gen Zs. Thank you, Chair.
Hivyo itakuwa ngumu tena zaidi. Ni lazima William Samoei Arap Ruto awe ameweka pale security ya kutosha, ili hao majamaa wasiwezi kwenda kuinterfere vitu ambazo programs ambazo zitakuwa zinaendelea kufanyika pale ndani. Unaona, you know, people are traveling, watu wana travel, watu wanafanya nini, watu wana unaona, watu wanashuka, watu wanatoka nchi za nje wakiingia Kenya, watu wanapanda wakitoka Kenya wakienda nchi za nje, wazungu wanaingia, wazungu wanatoka. Kwa hivyo it will be very difficult. Unaona watu wangu, itakuwa tu lazima William Samoei Arap Ruto aweze ku deploy very heavy security pale, ili uweze ku make sure hakuna mtu ataweza kufanya interference pale. Unaona watu wangu. Kwa hivyo the GenZs, my fellow GenZs, leo mambo itakuwa sio mazuri. Na mkumbuke William Samoei Arap Ruto alisema kwamba pale Bomet kwamba enough is enough. But for me, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best wale ambao mtaingia pale Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Basi I wish you all the best kwa siku yenu ya maandamano. Kwa hivyo ni Raipenda Evans, allow me to end from there. Let us meet another time. Kwa na siku njema. Bye bye.